Hi, I'm Virgil Symmonds. Am from Fairfield area and been married for, almost 46 years. I have 3 kids, I have 9 grandkids, and I have a great grandchild on the way in August, so looking forward to that. So, other than that, I've lived in Jefferson County for most of my life, since about 1971, I think it is. So education, I graduated from Fairfield High School in '77, and from there I just went into the work field, and it was actually when I was about 50 years old, I decided, I want to take some college courses. I didn't do that when I was out of high school, and it was probably more of a bucket list thing than anything. So on top of working full time, having kids, I decided to go back to school and graduate from Indian Hills. So as far as work, I started working for Hy-Vee when I was a senior in high school in '76, and I stayed there and worked all my working career in Fairfield, and I was there for just over 45 years, which I did a number of different things. I tell people, I kept it fresh, doing different jobs. I managed different departments, worked in different departments, and enjoyed doing that. And along with that, it really gave me a sense for business and how to run business. The last thing I did was manage the Starbucks coffee shop there, which basically, as Hy-Vee say, you run it like it's your own business, which I did. So it was a lot of work, but good experience. And like I said, I'd managed other departments before that, so it gave me a lot of experience as far as the business side, and basically how to make profit and bring the business in. After 45 years with Hy-Vee, I decided it was time to retire. And so I've been retired for a little over 3 years now, which gives us more freedom to spend time with kids and grandkids, and also opportunity to come to meetings now that I didn't have before. As far as community involvement, I've done a number of things over the years. I am a member of First Baptist Church in Fairfield, and with the church I've held a number of positions. Currently, I chair the Mission and Evangelism Board. I'm also on the trustee board, and as a chair, I'm also on the council, the church council. So like I said, I've held a number of different positions in the church. One being I was a high school leader for a number of years, and also an adult Sunday school teacher for a number of years. As far as a community otherwise, my wife and I coached softball, girls softball, for about 20 years. We also were members of the Kiwanis Club for a number of years, which it got to be where, here again, while I was working, I really wasn't able to give it that much time, because a lot of their activities were on Saturdays, and I worked most Saturdays, so wasn't able to give it the amount of time that we really felt we should. So we decided to drop out of that for that reason. A couple other things that I do. I help with the monthly food distribution that the Nazarene Church in Fairfield has, where we box up foods that we get from the Iowa Food Bank and distribute them to folks in need around the area. And I've also helped with the Lord's Cupboard a little bit, not a lot, but that's one of the activities that I've enjoyed doing. And also Fairfield has what they call the Helping Hands that I also help with, which they distribute like medical equipment, whether it be walkers or crutches or canes, or even hospital beds if needed, where people can borrow those. We loan those out for periods of time, so that just helps with community. So I've enjoyed doing that also. So another area, as far as serving on the church, as far as the church council, I was moderator for a term also, which the moderator is, as far as our church council, is kind of like the president of the company. So I basically led the council for about 3 years. It's 3-year terms, so I also have that experience. So as far as making an impact, Obviously, I've never served on the board before, so there would be a learning curve, but I think I'm a quick learner. Most of my experiences have been in business, having been with Hy-Vee for 45 years, and like I said, serving, managing different departments. And with Hy-Vee, as a manager, you have to be involved in every aspect: the ordering, the hiring, the managing, as far as the managing employees. You have to, you know, manage costs, whether it be labor, whether it be supplies, and just making sure you have what you need to do the business. And they, you know, Hy-Vee always said, you know, run it like it's your own business, which I always tried to do. So from that perspective, I think that experience would help me as far as being on the board here at Access Energy. So as far as the issues that the cooperative would face, is that a lot of it's political, and as we've all seen, you know, every 4 years that can change. I think right now the way the pendulum's swinging is that we're in a good position because you know, maybe a lot of these regulations that have been there in the past may be rolled back, so that we'd have more opportunities as far as whether it be coal powered or whatever, as far as generating the electricity. But as we know, that pendulum can swing the other way too. And so I think it's, you know, we have to focus long term. What would give us the best product for the best price over time, whether that be nuclear, if the shift goes back to where they try to get away from fossil fuels, you know, having to look at other means of generating electricity. I've always tried to focus long term. What's going to give us the best product long term, and how is that going to translate into costs?